Thanks for joining us for episode 1 of segment 5 in our 6-part I Don't Need No Stinkin' Realtor series, where we give you the tools and insight you need to navigate your solo home search. In today's episode of Setting Expectations and Negotiations, we're delving into what to expect when it comes to your overall home inspection and negotiating any concerning findings. Sharpen that pencil and let's get going. When it comes to expectations, clarity is key. Setting expectations from the start helps you navigate the process smoothly and allows you to be better mentally prepared when your emotions may try to take over. So let's talk about what you should expect and how to manage those expectations effectively. First and foremost, what terms did you negotiate for yourself in your purchase and sales agreement? Depending on how you chose to negotiate your inspection contingency, and based on the systems the home is serviced by, your inspection process will look a little different. If your contract includes a full traditional home inspection, then you'll need to find yourself a licensed home inspector for your mechanical, physical home inspection. If the home is serviced by a well and or septic system instead of city water and city sewers, you'll want to consider hiring specialized inspectors to test these two major components as well if they're not thoroughly covered by the general home inspector. Other common inspections here in our area include testing for radon gas in both air and water, and even testing for the presence of lead-based paint. It's also important to note that some states have different regulations to be aware of. For example, here in Rhode Island, as of January 2025, a general home inspector will no longer be allowed to check and test the electrical components and systems of a property. It will need to be done by a licensed electrician, which will be an added expense for you as the buyer and yet another inspector for you to track down and schedule. Remember what you learned in segment 4, episode 3. You're on a tight timeline to get through your inspection period, so you need to really be on top of getting them scheduled, completed, and fully negotiated before your deadline. An extremely important side note, if you intend to try to negotiate inspection findings with the seller, it is imperative that you hire licensed, professional inspectors who provide detailed report findings. An opinion or recommendation from a family member with general contracting experience isn't going to cut it when it comes time to negotiate. As far as expectations are concerned, even when inspecting brand new construction, there's always a punch list of items found and recommended repairs to be made. No house is perfect. That's just not a thing. Houses are man-made, and there are multiple contractors involved in the building process, so there are countless opportunities for general human error. Never mind an older home that's been lived in by multiple families over the years who've made various repairs. Remember, you're literally paying the inspectors to pick the house apart with a fine-tooth comb. If they came back with nothing, you'd be more likely to feel like you wasted your money on them than anything else. So understanding you're going to receive an overwhelming, detailed, multiple-page report about all of the things wrong with your potential new home, it's time to get you mentally prepared. Buying a home in general is an overwhelming experience for most. Never mind going through the process without a seasoned pro by your side. We recommend staying focused on the key components, big ticket items, and anything that affects the overall integrity and safety of the home. For example, the roof, foundation and structure, electrical, plumbing, and sanitation systems, or mold and radon mitigation. These types of items typically warrant relatively smooth negotiations, as they could very well be a point of contention for the next buyer too. Further, you shouldn't expect to negotiate items that were obviously present during your initial showings or that were properly disclosed in the seller's property condition disclosures. And remember, a seller is not obligated to agree to any of your requests. Depending on your local market and the level of interest they had in the property, they may be more inclined to negotiate with you or release your deposit and move on to the next buyer. Either way, do your best to keep your emotions at bay and stand your ground on anything that you feel could be a detriment to you owning the home. As we wrap up this segment on setting expectations and negotiations, remember that preparation and proper expectations are your greatest assets. Stay informed, communicate effectively, keep an open mind, and be flexible. Your dream home is out there, and we're excited for you to find it. If you found these insights valuable, give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments what specific questions you have. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Next up is episode 2 of 4, where we'll spend time diving deeper into the overall inspection process. Until next time, happy house hunting.